Hello, good morning. Welcome to reInvent 2023. Thank you for taking this time on Monday morning to coming over and listening to us about how to harvest your data with the help of analytics and machine learning. Customers like you tell us that data is critical. With the storage cost going down day by day, it's very easy to collect a lot of data points for your processes. Where they face challenges, how to harvest that data, how to make use to your business case, how to capitalize it for your new use cases. I'm Ravindra Gupta. I'm worldwide go-to-market lead for machine learning. And today, we're going to talk about how you can leverage our analytics and machine learning services, and which are packaged together as a best practices to harvest your data. We have hundreds and thousands of customers who are taking advantage of these services. And the good thing is that what better way to learn what that best practices could result by one of you or your own customer. So our customer, Diane Zhu, she's from Rocket Companies. She's going to share her experience about what problem they faced with their data or their infrastructure, how they capitalized using machine learning and analytics, and what impact it has created. So please help me to welcome Diane Zhu to take the stage and talk about Rocket Companies' story about harvesting the data. Please.
What up, Doe? Vegas? 8:30, you made it. Give yourself a big round of applause. My name's Diane Xu from Rocket Companies. Been with the company for 10 years. I tend to call myself the mother of modernized data platform. What I did, I built enterprise data lake, data warehouse. We continue thriving in the era of Gen AI. Who is ready? Woo! Today, we're going to show you guys a journey. What are some pain points? How did we complete a full modernization of data science platform? I am committed to bring you energy, to bring you some insights, inspiration to carry on for the day. Are you guys ready? How many of you guys have heard of Rocket Companies, Rocket Mortgage, or Quicken Loans? Nice. I see a lot of hands showing. To get it started, I would like to ask each and every one of you, please take a deep breath and think, what is your American dream? What is your definition of an American dream? Bingo. Love it. And you need a house for retirement too. I came to this country 11 years ago. My American dream is exactly as yours, getting a beautiful house, 2 floors, nice basement, and a decent yard where my kiddos can run wild. By show of hand, how many of you share similar American dreams? I'm seeing a lot of you. The reason stats shows, despite our American dream and passion, at least 40% of people in America feel buying a home is the most stressful thing in modern life. We want to change that. Our founder, Mr. Dan Gilbert, had a dream. His dream is to drastically simplify this mortgage process to help everyone to fulfill their American dream of home ownership. We started with innovation. At Rocket, we have a strong series of culture principles. We call it the isms. One of my favorite one is you will see it when you believe it. We need to believe in innovation. And in 1996, Mr. Dan Gilbert figured out how instead of sitting in the branch trying to fill a daunting list of paperwork, why don't we just deliver the entire mortgage process in a pizza box? And he did it. Within 2 months, we're seeing accomplishment of 35 millions of closed loan in volumes. And in 1998, when internet became popular, we committed our entire resources to take this whole process to the internet. This is a more relevant time than ever because in the era of Gen AI today, it's exactly similar as in the 90s for the internet when it came out. What do we choose to do as a business? Fast forward, in 2015, we were the first one taking and deploying an end-to-end full online mortgage process and launched Rocket Mortgage. We did not stop there because we quickly realized that other than mortgage process, our clients have more complex moments in their life. They need more services. Yet we grew from Quicken Loans into a fleet of financial services, bring a big variety of services, bring to our clients. If you need personal loans, we founded Rocket Loans. You need real estate agent help, we have Rocket Homes. If you need to manage your finances and wellness, we recently acquired Truebill and rebranded to be Rocket Money. Not only we want to provide you the financial services you need, we also give back to the community. One of the isms, we are the day. We take responsibility. We also have Gilbert Family Foundation with the mission to cure neurofibromatosis. We just recently raised $55 million last week in one night. We also want to end homelessness in Detroit. We give back. How many of you came from the industry of financial services? About 30% of the room. What is our biggest challenge? The market. This is a chart of interest rate. It took us almost 20 years for the interest rate to drop from above 7% to under 3%. And yet, in the most recent 18 months, it rose back up. Businesses are suffering all across the industry. Some businesses are closed. What did Rocket choose to do? We have been around the industry for 38 years. We've seen crisis, and we went through it. We love challenges. We love changes. Every time there's a crisis, it's our time to grow and shine because we have a strong business strategy to focus on the most important part, our client. What do they need? We're all going through this journey together. We decided to grow our client base and continue to provide more variety of financial services to help our client. And all of this would not happen without the power of data. Talking a little bit more about data and analytics in Rocket companies. I want to share a little story. I started at Rocket companies 10 years ago as an intern. A couple of weeks in, one day I was sitting on the floor. Our founder, Mr. Dan Gilbert, walked in, and there he goes, the legendary Warren Buffett, along with him. It was a beautiful moment where Dan was showing Warren our full end-to-end self-service business analytics. We call it mission control, where we give in-depth visibility into where clients are at in each and every step of the mortgage processes. That moment was so intriguing. It planted the passion in me that made me dedicate my past decade in Rocket, focusing on data. In the past over 15 years, we had deployed hundreds and thousands of self-service analytical solutions in every corner of our business. It's so critical. Also, we want to continue to grow our digital landscape. When a client walks into any of our website assets, we want to understand who is our client, what are they looking for, so that we can deliver a real robust, personalized experience. Also, we spend a lot of money in marketing. How could we optimize that? How could we ensure our hundreds of millions of marketing spend is optimized, especially when economic is giving challenges? We leverage the power of data science. We were able to develop things like hedge model to protect our dozens of billions of capital market book. We also dedicated in full automation, continue thriving to make the mortgage process more automated and none of that would have happened without the power of big data. Last but not least, one of the most critical things for us as financial services is how much we care about protecting our clients' sensitive data. We have a lot of compliance. We need to meet the requirements, such as GLBA, Grime-Leach-Bliley Act, about data retention, encryption, data classification. All of those require a powerful data platform. We were the early adopter of Data Lake. We started our first generation of Data Lake in 2017 using an old legacy of Hadoop. We did leverage Spark by data engineering and data science. We used Hive for querying for analysts mainly. We initially had all of our data in HDFS, which was working at a point of time when we deployed our first data lake, but quickly we learned it cannot scale, and it's not as reliable. It's 10 times more expensive than S3. The data lake worked very well and powered dozens of data science initiatives. But year after year, when 2019 and 2020, the mortgage rate drastically dropped, we are seeing our volume double, and at times even triple. We quickly realized this legacy structure cannot scale. And a few factors, a few symptoms. One is data ingestion simply took too long. With this legacy stack, to ingest a new source into our data lake took a matter of weeks, 4 to 8 weeks. It was not acceptable at the point of time. Also, it could not scale in the sense that the legacy stack is harder and harder to support. Anyone here worked or supported like a support group or understand like the challenge of on-call? Any friends here? See a few hands. We do not want our engineers to wake up 3 a.m. and have to troubleshoot. Yet our legacy stack quickly showed a lot of challenges in support. We must get out of this. We must modernize our data platform. How to do that? Exactly as I shared. Step 1, you will see it when you believe it. We have passion. We need to bring our team members' commitment. How do we do that? I actually have a video we created at the very beginning of our migration journey to share with you, where I made the lyrics and the song. Our team made this migration song. Please enjoy.
We come from the land of old Hadoop, but from the 265 where Spark runs slow. Through the power of AWS, we'll drive our workloads to be serverless. To get the resource coding and pushing, managed services are incoming. On we sweep with migrating more. The data is for data scientists to explore. Yeah, get it on. We sweep with migrating more. How will your code so clean get ease the pain on call of how we stop the struggle of support? We are your firefighters. Oh, and we sweep with migrating more. The data is there for data scientists to explore. So now you better stop and move all of your jobs for peace and trust and win the day despite of all your roadblocks. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh.
Thank you so much. That video meant a lot to me. The guy dancing in the ukulele, Mr. Shannon Hall, one of the best, who's been with Rocket for 11 years. He just passed away 2 months ago due to cancer. But it was passion from folks like him and a lot of team members and our commitment that started this journey, and we finished it. Now with the modernized data science platform, what had we accomplished? The data ingestion now takes a matter of minutes. We were able to deploy a full configuration-driven Lambda pattern that's applicable to dozens of different data sources. How about support? No one needs to wake up at 3 a.m. firefighting anymore. Once we adapt a modernized data platform, I barely recall maybe 1 to 2 instances in the past 18 months. Life is beautiful. How many of folks here are data scientists? Yeah, I'm seeing a few. One of the key challenge for data scientists that you might be spending 60% of your time looking for data. And with our legacy stack, not only that, they're waiting for resources to free up. It could not scale. Now with a modernized data science platform, we can easily scale ups and down. And without this investment, we would not have been able to power 3.7 billion of automated AI and data science decisions today. We know we all want a platform that's better, faster, and cheaper. How about the cost? In our legacy stack, we went with a couple of vendors. We were committed with over $1 million of fixed cost. When we tried to review, it was ridiculous. The vendor was telling us, hey, your version is so outdated. Not only you need to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you need to sign that we are not really providing you any support. And now, with the partnership from AWS, we were able to adopt the pay-as-you-go model. So there's zero fixed cost. And also, one highly recommended tool is called MAP. It stands for Migration Acceleration Program. If any of you consider using AWS to modernize your data platform, that's the best one to consider. Talk with your account team today. Because we were able to save $3 million in getting credit back. Who doesn't like credit? How do we do that technically? This is our modernized architecture. By having our data in S3 with multiple layers, we were able to make it cheaper and accomplish the sustainability. We like lake formation. It helps us seamlessly tie all the services together, and we are able to manage security to meet our enterprise standard. One of our favorite service is Glue Catalog. Especially in Rocket companies, we have multiple of the family of companies. We need to be able to provide data sharing capabilities and also meet legal compliance requirements. What's great about Glue Catalog is it reduced the amount of data replication we need to do. All you need to do is share the catalog across different accounts. It's very sweet. As I mentioned, we leverage Lambda, and we have a full configuration-driven ingestion pattern. We now have hundreds of Glue ETLs as our regular ETL tools for data processing. We leverage the power of EMR, mainly for our data domains and providing and building the quality data product. We're able to leverage Redshift as our cloud version of data warehousing, taking our decade of hard work from on-prem SQL Server to the cloud, continue to grow the Redshift data warehouse. We also love SageMaker. That's where data scientists really enjoy the powerful capability. That's up to date. Diving in to simplify all of that to 3 simple steps. Number 1, get the data into your data platform. At Rocket, we currently ingest our data from over 150 different sources, a combination of first and third-party data. What I described, the Lambda-based approach, is only one of the options. You can work with your solution architect and account team to figure out what's best for you. But for us, we need to be able to handle data volume in petabytes. We need to handle a variety of different data sources and the nature of it. And the most important thing is it has to auto-scale. By the way, I'm bringing a demo of auto-scale today. I'm wearing this beautiful piece of Indian sari, which I believe is the most auto-scaled solution. I can wear it right now. If I'm like 8 months pregnant, I just need to wrap it differently. Beautiful. Auto-scale. Also, once the data gets into the data lake, what we do is process in different layers to really bring data governance, bring meaning to the data, making the conformed layer then build powerful data domains and quality data product. Then we serve the data, allow different business use cases and initiative to connect with our quality data product via APIs. Why do we choose EMR? When we talk about modernized data platform, one of the top concern is how big is the lift? We don't want to have to redo the work by modernizing, doing parallel migration of your hundreds of pipeline. One thing very sweet about EMR is the backward compatibilities. We were able to simply do a lift and shift and get our Spark workload into EMR with near to no work. The only thing we had to do is Kubernetes our cluster, and we are ready to go. Also, it's very cost efficient. One thing to highlight is the spot instances. It's not just a tagline, it can save to up to 90%. It does save money, especially when you have workflows that's more flexible. We were able to overall accomplish a 40% reduction by going to EMR without cost. Our most favorite feature of EMR is transient EMR. I was joking with my partner a lot here. If I consider the traditional EMR as me buying a bunch of sari and put in my closet, a transient EMR is you leverage rent the runway sari rental services whenever you need it, however you need. We love the power of EMR because it gives us flexibility and save the efforts our infrastructure team need to put into config EMR clusters. Just by looking at this life cycle, we leverage Event Bridge. We set up rules as a trigger. It's just when I put an order in, hey, there's a big event coming. I need a sari that looks exactly like this, ready to go. And then we leverage Lambda to launch it. And boom, it's there. We love it. Now, step 2, you have powerful quality data domain and data product to power your analytics and data science initiative. The last step, unleash your data science. In our legacy version of data science platform, we had provided the most painful experience as we could not scale. But we are very glad we went with SageMaker. A few things. We were able to provide a lot of the flexibility in deployment because we need our models to be able to be deployed into multiple and a variety of different hosting environments. We also want to empower more roles. For business analysts, data analysts, not everyone has very necessary different skills in programming languages and Spark. We really want to pursue the no-code and low-code to really leverage the strategic mindset from these roles without getting bottlenecked by the skill. And why SageMaker? The number one thing, as I mentioned earlier, how key is security as financial services. We really appreciate SageMaker, and the way we do data science is we are able to keep all of our data, sensitive data, in the backbone of AWS. That helped us to be able to meet the enterprise level security at scale. Just like EMR, SageMaker also provides wonderful backward compatibility, which makes our Spark workflow that data scientists leverage easily be able to get a lift and shift into the cloud. It also effortlessly integrated with other services we just talked about, which reduced a lot of efforts and extra work. One thing we really like about SageMaker is the simple pane of glass, the user experience. As a data scientist, You may have a simple sklearn model that doesn't need a lot of horsepower. You just need like a virtual machine, some basic CPUs that will work. But on the other hand, you might have a TensorFlow workload that require the super powerful GPUs. SageMaker Studio were able to provide a very friendly interface to have you manage this variety of workloads and have dedicated resources matching exactly what you need. And with that, we're able to save a lot of cost because how flexible it is and how it's customized to the requirement of your workflow. And also, as I mentioned, we are able to empower more roles in innovation. One thing at Rocket we does is every quarter we do a hack week. It's our innovation week, where we give an entire week back to our technology. You can do anything you want that you believe is either for your own growth or for the company. And those weeks are the most innovative times. A lot of the business transforming idea coming from those weeks. The low code, no code empowers and fuels and accelerates those hack week outcome. We talked about EMR SageMaker. Now what's next? We want to continue to grow and accelerate our data governance. As we keep grow our data landscape, it's exponentially challenging to manage and govern our data. We are exploring the Amazon Data Zone. I'm sure this week you guys will hear a lot of great feature and exciting announcement. One thing very sweet that I'm so glad we invested this modernized data science platform. We didn't think about it as an additional benefit, but now we are definitely loving it, is we are ready to go for Gen AI. With a fully modernized data science platform, we were able to be an early adapter, join an early preview for Bedrock. Very quickly, months ago, we were able to provide access to 32 LLMs to our own data scientist analyst. It's amazing. The innovation just got accelerated and took wings. We want to further unleash the enterprise data science. We want to encourage our business partners. If you have a great idea in this era of Gen AI, you will not be short of tools, but you need passion, you need commitment. You will believe it when you see when you believe it. A couple of highlights of our Gen AI use case. One thing is understanding the challenging thing of data governance. We need to be able to manage our massive amount of metadata at scale. Think about it, we have 1 million data elements. How to manage and monitor those data definition, business definition. This is one of our Gen AI use case that we believe by leverage the power of Bedrock and Gen AI, we anticipate a reduction of 80% of manual work. Not only data governance, we also want to help accelerate our data engineering. We're leveraging and evaluating Code Whisperer, and we want to put the powerful tools to unleash our engineer and data scientists to really be able to help take our business, transform the way we do mortgage, transform the way we do financial business to the next level. Next, I would like to pass it to my wonderful partner, Ravinder, to talk about what are some exciting upcoming features.
Thank you very much. This is an awesome, awesome presentation and a customer experience. Think about 4 to 8 weeks of delivery time frame cut down to less than 2 hours. Think about 180 plus production issues to cut down to 0. That talks about the platform stability and scale. To wrap it up, I just wanted to make sure that you understand what are the components which helps you to capture your data journey. So the first thing what we did is we have built out the platform for different personas across your organization. You could have a case where the domain expertise lies with the business analyst or the domain expert. They don't necessarily have to know the code of big data platform or data science capabilities. But what they have is to understanding their business process. So we've built out a simple click, drag and drop platform, what we call is a SageMaker canvas. It's end-to-end platform. You bring your raw data to S3, get going with the S3, with a SageMaker canvas to capture those data, build, train, deploy a model without understanding the nitty-gritty of data science or big data. Then we have customers which are asking that a very simplified IDE for machine learning and analytics. That's where we have built out SageMaker Studio, which gives you this complete view of data to data harvesting to building out that machine learning model, experimenting it, and finally deploying into production with an ease. And these are all intuitive workflow which helps you to take to this journey, which is harvesting your data points. And finally, an ML engineers. The machine learning is so critical to the business that in future, every business process is going to embed with the machine learning model. So think about today, which is 2, 10, 20, or 30 models. Tomorrow becoming 600, thousands, 2,000 models. How are you going to manage them in production? You require that DevOps kind of discipline in order to manage those models at scale. And that's where we have built out an MLOps capability in the platform itself. So from sourcing the data, cleansing it, cleaning that golden copy, handing over to data scientist where he's exploring those data and building out those models, all step can be stitched together, these pipelines, where you can build out this end-to-end MLOps capability to govern it and making sure that it is meeting your scale requirement for your organization. So what our data scientists would get out of it? So the platform provides some of the core capabilities. You could have an EMR cluster or a big data cluster on Spark or Hive running on our infrastructure, and you want to capture it through the SageMaker Studio. So we have that capability where you can see all the clusters which are running into your account, and you can capture them to build out the machine learning models. Not only that, if you need to create a new cluster, it's a click away. You can go and from the studio itself, you can click and talk about what kind of cluster you want to create it, provision it, get it ready, and start your machine learning journey. From a data scientist perspective, there's a lot of organizations want to put a discipline around what kind of cluster you can create because, cluster comes with a cost. And that's where we have a capability in the platform itself to help you to templatize the cluster creation process. So your administrator who is controlling cost, who wants to make sure that the cluster has been authorized to a certain individuals, they can do so with the help of our platform. You can create that CloudFormation or Terraform scripts, hand it over to a SageMaker Studio. It's going to show to the customer. You click, for example, and then you create the cluster accordingly. All these clusters comes with the fine-grained control, and there are capabilities which can help you further enhance your data science experience. So for example, local mode. So there's a lot of cases where data science wants to do the processing where their environment or the studio is running without sending back to the cluster. With the help of local mode, you can clean those data right there without necessarily giving back and forth with your big data cluster to perform that analysis. The platform also brings the capability in case, like for example, you have your own custom script, you have optimized Spark cluster for yourself. That's what something you want to build it. So bring your own image can provide you that capability where you are kind of like working with your own data sets and with your own custom images to optimize your data science experience. Again, quite a lot of capability has been built in. And finally, you can automate this EMR, AWS Glue in the pipeline to create this MLOps experience to make sure that next iteration is going through a very seamless and less hands-offs are happening between the team. Finally, there is a number of organizations, they ask that we have a separate analytics teams who wants to focus primarily on data explorations or data analysis. So we have built out EMR serverless, which has been there for a long time. But there's a lot of new capabilities has been came in to help your experience around that EMR serverless. So first thing is Graviton 2 support. So this year we have a Graviton 2, which is up to 40% cheaper than x86 chipsets for the 5th generation. So think about your workload, which is running on now Graviton 2 and kind of cost saving you can bring to your organizations with a simple click of selections of Graviton 2 images. Similarly, number of customers ask us to job level cost. So when you push this content onto a serverless environment, one of the challenge our customer ask is that how do I calculate cost of each job? And that's where we have built out this job level cost analysis where you can see each job, how much CPUs, how much memories it has consumed to calculate that cost for per job. Again, quite impressive capability there. Finally, with the Studio, you can interact with your Glue or Spark cluster, which is running on EMR, without worrying about how to scale, what size do you need beforehand before you submit your data. So again, quite a lot of capability from your analytics team perspective in order to take advantage of EMR serverless for their workload. And finally, this ops. So ML ops capability is critical for organizations to scale. When we talk about, Dan's talk about, 8 weeks of delivery timeline cutting down to 2 hours, it does not happen in vacuum. It requires very strict ops guidelines to implement it into the process to make sure the changes are happening in a controlled fashion. And that's where we build out this ML ops capability, which helps you to stitch this end-to-end data process to control and productionize in a much faster clip. You can catalog your versions, you can look at what data you have started, what was the experiment with those data was performed from your model, and all those version traceability gives you the lineage which is required for your compliance and regulatory commitment. Again, this is something which has been helped a number of customers to scale their machine learning. And finally, we talked about Canvas, which is our no-code, low-code tool. The beauty of this tool is that you can now work independently and democratize machine learning analytics across the organization. It's not limited to very skilled folks. And what it helps is you to build out that first draft model. So we have customers, for example, they are using Canvas to build out their simplest or easy models, but also creating a draft for very, very complex use cases and handing over to data scientist team to do the further fine-tuning and deployment. So think about now in your business case where your business user is creating the model for your data scientist team, and with a click, sharing to their data science that this is exactly what I want, instead of drafting a Word doc of a requirement and going through multiple phases to understand what the final scope of the product should look like. Very, very powerful for helping your entire organizations to embark that journey of machine learning and analytics. And this is how you achieve that. So when we talk about end-to-end data strategy, we talked about now the data cost is going down or the storage is cheap. What it means is that once you start collecting these many, many data points, like Dan mentioned, Rocket Companies does 150 plus data sources. Once you have those data sources and stored in these purpose-built databases, you can create this act layer seamlessly across the organizations with the help of Redshift, EMR, Studio, and transform the organizations from machine learning. We have hundreds and thousands of customers taking advantage of these best practices, and we definitely want you to take those best practices for your organizations as well. So happy to connect and answer any questions you might have. And finally, you have completed today. This is the first session of the superhero for analytics. So if you scan this barcode, it's going to tell you what other options you have, which is going to guide you for your skill development in this next 5 days at reInvent. Thank you, and we enjoy the reInvent. It's a great time to learn, to be curious, to share your experience with your peers, and connect with our partners. So anything which we can help from a Q&A perspective, we have, I believe, still 19 minutes, so we can answer any specific questions you might have. Thank you.